Welcome to Barkhausen Nature Bites. Today we're talking about this critter right here, which is a reindeer or a caribou. Now I did try to get a live reindeer here to visit for the video, but it turns out they're a little busy. They got some big event planned or something, a trip they're working on, so I couldn't get one for this video. So I thought this would work just as well, and there is a lot of really fascinating facts about reindeer. The first one is, are they reindeer or are they caribou? Well, it doesn't really matter. Both those names are for the same animal. It does kind of just depend where you are in the world. Over there in Europe, they're going to call them reindeer. Over here in North America, we'll call them caribou. And then if they're in a farm or domesticated in North America, we'll call them reindeer as well. So it doesn't really matter. It just depends where you are in the world. The other thing with reindeer caribou is, what are these pointy things on top of their heads? Are they horns or are they antlers? Now those are antlers, much like the white-tailed deer we have in our neck of the woods, where they're made out of bone. They lose them every year and they have to regrow them. But different than the white-tailed deer, where white-tailed deer, only the boys, the bucks, will have the antlers. For caribou, both the boys and the girls do have antlers. The girls' antlers are usually a little bit smaller than the boys' antlers, but they do both have antlers. The bucks, the boy caribou, are going to lose them about November and then start regrowing them come February. But then for the females, they'll lose their antlers, they'll hold on to them a little longer in the winter, they'll lose them early spring, and then start regrowing those antlers back again in May. So there's a little bit difference there, and you have to kind of think to yourself, well, who's really pulling Santa's sleigh around then, boys or girls? So another really cool thing about these caribou is that the females are going to have one calf per year, sometimes two or three, but usually just one. And after only about an hour, those calves are able to walk after being born, which is really crazy to think about. And they'll be with their mother and they'll drink milk for about 6 months. After that, they're going to start eating food just like their adults counterparts, and that's going to be grasses, ferns, herbs, shoots of trees, especially like willow and birch, and also lichens and mosses. So for caribou, they got to sometimes travel pretty good distances to find food. They're going to migrate. It's really one of the cool things that happens in our world is this caribou migration. And they're going to go sometimes over 600 miles to get to those different feeding grounds. And they'll do this in massive herds. You know, sometimes they'll hang around like maybe 10 to several hundred size herds in the winter, but then come spring, it's going to be 50,000 to 500,000 caribou in a herd. Just huge amounts of them migrating over 600 miles. Really an amazing thing to check out. At least that's what I've heard. Another thing with caribou is they got some really good adaptations to help them survive for the cold climate up there in the Arctic. Their fur, it's got two layers to it, two coats to it. They got a short wool-like fur that's tight up against their body, really helps keeps them warm. And they also have long hairs, hollow hairs on top of that, and those help trap air against their body, acts like insulation, just like what's in your house, and it keeps them warm as well. And also those long hollow hairs help them actually float a little bit when they have to go and swim. So that's pretty cool. The other thing is that their hair will literally come from the nose all the way down to the hooves. So pretty much their entire body is covered by hair. And so they're on the hooves, which is kind of weird. Like, why would you want hair on your hooves? Well, that kind of helps give them some traction, ice, snow, and mud. And for the nose, they have hair in their nose, which is unique as well. And the reason is that when they're breathing in, that hair in the nose helps warm that air before it gets into their lungs. Definitely something handy to have up in the Arctic. They do have a pretty good sense of smell, which is really handy as well. And when they're trying to find lichens buried beneath the snow or trying to smell like a nearby predator, just be on the watch out for those. And their eyesight's pretty good. You know, they can see pretty decent, but the unique thing about their eyesight is that they can see ultraviolet light, UV light, which is actually also the same as rodents. They have something common in mice that way. And the reason is that ultraviolet light is absorbed by urine, pee, and also lichens, and it looks black on top of the snow when you see that ultraviolet light, which is what they see. So for these Arctic animals, they can see that ultraviolet light reflect or getting absorbed by that urine, and all those lichens out there helps them spot it that much easier. So lots of fun facts about these reindeer. They're really cool animals. If you ever get a chance to go see a live one in a zoo or in a park, definitely take advantage of that. If you want them to come by your house and just kind of visit, you wonder if it's going to cost you anything, just remember, one night a year, they're on the house. Thanks for watching Barkhausen Nature Bites.